Somehow we are doing a half-year reset right now. Isn't that crazy? Guys, I am finally back with another monthly reset. I did not do a May reset because I had no voice after Coachella. I literally lost my voice for 5 weeks. But somehow, even though the last monthly reset I filmed was for April, it doesn't feel like it should be June right now. It really doesn't feel like it's time for us to do our mid-year reset. But here we are. The time is now. If you're new here, hi, my name is Beth. I overshare in all of my vlogs and love to go to concerts. And something that I'm doing this year is challenging myself to film a monthly reset every single month. Now, I did obviously miss May, but I'm determined, if I don't lose my voice again, to film one for every single month for the rest of the year. So if you haven't subscribed, you definitely should, because we're basically best friends at this point. Okay, first thing I typically do in all of my resets is a massive deep clean. I just feel like my most productive self once my area is clean. If the area is messy, my mind is messy, I can't focus. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, we had an apartment inspection last week or the week before, and I fully deep cleaned this apartment. Like, I literally was bleaching the floors. I went crazy. So the apartment is pretty clean in that respect, but I definitely need to do just a little tidy up. I need to make the bed. It was Carl's birthday last week, so his birthday sign is still up. There's some balloons on the floor. There's some washing over there I need to put away. I basically just need to do a little apartment refresh. I really need to wipe down my desk as well. I just looked down at my desk and was like, wow, that's gross. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set a 20-minute timer and just see how much I can get done in that time. It usually takes me 20 to 30 minutes to do an apartment refresh. I typically will do one of these every single day. I'm gonna set that on my watch, and then while I'm smashing all of that out, I'm going to listen to some music, because God forbid I'd be left with my thoughts even for just 20 minutes. Guys, I feel so much better after doing that. Also, could you just hear that? I feel like my chair has started to get really squeaky. Hopefully the copyright-free music is pulling through and you can't hear my chair constantly be like... Anyway, I'm very glad that I did that. It took me 30 minutes in the end. My timer went off after 20 minutes and I was like, just give me 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes and I'll be good to go. And now the apartment is so clean, it's tidy, it's organized. And now I am ready to do the same thing with my MacBook and also my phone. Basically, we're gonna do a digital declutter. I guess it's not really a deep clean. I probably should deep clean my phone, like wipe it down. I'm straight up not gonna do that, but I am going to declutter both of these devices. If my MacBook and phone are full of files, if there's photos everywhere, text everywhere, I feel like I can't lock in when I do my job. And I'd say a good 80% of my job requires me to work on my Mac and phone. So let's go ahead and declutter these devices. And I'm also going to do my social media unfollowing as well. Basically what I do is I go on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and I just unsubscribe or unfollow anybody that I don't want to be following anymore. A lot of the time, I've said this before, but a lot of the time it's not personal. It's just for my own mental health. I'm a Scorpio. Jealousy literally runs through my veins. So unfortunately, I do have to really be conscious of what I'm consuming, and you can't control what you consume fully. There's always going to be sponsored ads, or the For You page or Explore page is going to randomly choose to show you stuff. So I think it's important to control what you can. So that is the plan. Let's lock in and do this as fast as we can. Okay, now that my devices are decluttered, the apartment is clean, it is time to do a little end of month reflection. Actually, you know what we should do this time? We should do a 6-month reflection, a reflection on the first half of the year, since somehow we are doing a half-year reset right now. Isn't that crazy. But I think doing it this way is gonna allow us to just reflect on the first half of the year, see how we've been going, how we've been feeling, and then kind of set our intentions for the second half of the year. I don't know about you guys, but it's so common for me to kind of fall off around this time. I feel like January, February, March, I'm like, it's the start of the year, I got this. And then towards the middle of the year, I'm like, what were my goals again? What am I meant to be doing? What's happening? And I want to prevent that from going into the second half of the year. So I have this page on my Notion called 2025 goals, and in there is where I do my end of month reflection. I didn't do my end of month reflection for April because I didn't film my May reset, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I just straight up didn't do a monthly reset for May. So I'm feeling a little bit all over the place right now, and I'm feeling kind of rusty filming this. But each month I go and read my reflection for the previous month, because I'll put it up on the screen, but this is basically what my end of month review and reflection looks like. As you can see, I've got 4 sections. Liked, what did I enjoy most this month? Learned, what did I learn this month? Lacked, what could I have done better this month? And longed for, what do I wish existed or was possible to make this month run smoother? So I think it's always good to go and read the previous month's end of month review and reflection and see if I did do those things this month. But firstly, let's go ahead and fill this out. I'm gonna fill it out in my May section, but as I fill it out, I'm gonna not just think of this month, I'm gonna think of the whole first year as a whole, and then we'll compare it to my end of April review since we don't have an end of May one. Okay guys, let's do it. Okay, I just finished doing my first half of the year reflection and review. I honestly feel like I am on a good track. Let me just overshare. Here is my end of 6 month review. The main thing that I'm picking up from this is that I just need to really focus on balance better. I think I've learned a lot about myself this year. What makes me feel good, what doesn't make me feel good, what's important for me, what isn't important. And I feel like I'm such an all or nothing person that I would like to keep improving on breaking that mentality. Rather than cutting out alcohol completely, maybe I just drink less. Rather than eating perfectly healthy, I just eat 80% healthy and 20% bad. Just kind of being more consistent with balance rather than perfection. But overall, I'm very happy with this. Let's go ahead and look at my April one. Honestly, I feel like I've kind of done okay. A lot of the same things are here. I will say, in terms of things that I learned that month, I learned that rest is important, and I really did implement that. You can even see down the bottom, I longed for intentional relaxation, and that's something I really prioritized, especially the last month. I learned that I shouldn't skip therapy, and I stopped skipping it. I literally was gonna be like, I think I'm done with my therapy journey for now, and then no, I was rudely reminded by the fact that I'm not done with my journey. But overall, I feel like I'm doing well, and I'm very glad that I did this. I feel like that has literally instantly put me in the right mindset to go into the second half of the year. So I highly recommend doing this. Even if you don't have something to look at that maybe you wrote at the end of each month this year, or something that you wrote at the start of the month, I still recommend doing this. Just have a think about how the first half of the year has gone for you. Think about what things you've learned, and ultimately set the intention for who you want to be or what kind of things you want to implement for the second half of the year. Hell f***ing yeah, besties. I feel great after that. So now that that's done, let's move on to goals. I did not set any monthly goals for May. I didn't set weekly goals for May. And honestly, I kind of liked that. I feel like sometimes I get really caught up on goals and I really hyperfixate on them, which can be good at times, but also can become quite toxic. So I'm kind of glad that I've had a month off, but I'm also glad that I'm getting back into it, because I do think I easily could have just taken May off and then kept that kind of going, when in reality, I know that it's beneficial for me and healthy for me to get back into my system. So if you've slipped off this year, whether it's last month, maybe you've just fallen off for the whole first half of the year, do not stress, do not worry. Let's jump back into it right now. So this is my goals page. Obviously my computer is here. I promise I'm not just like staring out the window. But this is my goals page that is in my Notion. I'll also have my Notion template linked below for you guys. I love this thing so much. I started with a template template and then really customized it, and I feel like it's really good. So if you're interested, I'll have that linked below. But basically, I have my word for the year, which is thrive. I have my 2025 goals, my weekly goals, and then I have my monthly goals. And basically, my weekly goals help me achieve my monthly goals, and my monthly goals help me achieve my yearly goals. Now, since I didn't set myself any goals for May, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a look at my 2025 goals in general and update the status of them. So as you can see here, I have all of my goals written out, then I have a status section, and then also the type of the goal that it is. Now, in regards to type, I have 6 sections. I have work, physical, financial, mental, hobbies, and personal. And then I have 2 goals underneath each type or each section, which total up to 12 goals for the year. I really find it helpful to have it split out into sections and then just having 2 goals in that section. And then basically I keep that same kind of structure for my monthly goals and my weekly goals as well. I set either 2 weekly or monthly goals under each section. And then the status section, I basically can mark it as not started, in progress, done, or next year. I actually don't know why I have next year as an option, but I guess it's there if we need it. So these are my 2025 goals. Let's go ahead and update the status on them together. So first one is consistent on all platforms. Guys, I feel like I can finally tick this off as done. The thing that was holding me back on this was my consistency with TikTok. I've spoken about this in vlogs. I'm pretty sure I spoke about it in my last monthly reset, but something I wanted to get better at was posting more short form videos, especially on TikTok. And I just had this really bad mental block with it. But when I lost my voice and couldn't post YouTube videos, I made it a priority to figure out how I could get on my short form game, and I finally have. So even though I'm still getting back into YouTube now, by the time this is up, I'll be back on my weekly posting schedule. So therefore, I'm gonna tick this as done. My next goal was 2 clients at a specific amount on a monthly retainer. That is done. I thought I ticked that as done previously. I'm not really sure what was going on there. Next, best physical shape of my life. We're working on it. We're in progress. Balance my hormones, in progress. Next, be a month ahead on my budget. We'll get into budget and financial stuff a little bit later, but basically I have a bank account, which is a savings account where I put away enough so that I'm a month ahead of my budget, so that if anything happens, I don't have to touch my other savings accounts. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have the full amount there right now, so it's still in progress. Start investing. This is the goal that I wasn't sharing with you guys because it's a second half of the year goal for me. So I'm gonna leave it as not started, but it will be something that I'm starting in the second half of the year. So we'll figure that out together. I am not an investing girly. I truly don't really know a lot about it. So we can figure it out together. Improve my mental health. Honestly, done. I have improved it so much, and I think I'm going to have times where I'm up and I'm down. It's gonna be better, it's gonna be worse, but overall, I've really found a system that works for me, which is going to therapy and being on medication. So I've definitely improved my mental health. Log 50 social media free days in progress. I tracked 1 in May, so we'll figure that out. Learn a go-to piano song. She's in progress and she ain't progressing. Read 24 books in progress. Spend my 30th in Paris in progress, and actually love my hair. I think we can take that as done because I am so happy with my hair color at the moment. I mean, my regrowth is a little bit questionable, but I'm loving my hair. So halfway through the year, and we can tick 4 as done, 8 as pending. You know what? I'm happy with that. So now that we've updated where I'm at with my 2025 goals in general, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go fill out my monthly goals and then also my weekly goals for the first month of June. Something that I do want to say before I fill this out though is if you've set a goal for this year and you no longer feel like that goal serves you, you don't have to keep trying to achieve that goal. That's why I feel like doing a monthly reflection, and especially a half year reflection, is so helpful because it helps you really reflect on the year. It helps you reflect on where you are and what you want. And sometimes you set a goal and it no longer serves you, and that's okay. It's okay to let go of that and set something new that's going to align better with yourself. The most important thing to do is to not just give up on setting goals or improving yourself or improving your life in general. And just because you haven't completed that goal that you set for yourself at the start of the year because it no longer aligns with where you want to go in your life or who you want to become does not mean that you're a failure. If anything, knowing what you want, figuring out what you want, and changing things in your life to align better is successful. I think that is way more successful than trying to just achieve a goal because you've set it. So don't be afraid to change things, to switch things up. You haven't failed. You haven't wasted your time. You've just learned more about yourself. And I feel like that's like the purpose of life or something. I don't know. I feel like I just rambled for a few minutes and hopefully something good came out of that. Okay, now that the goals are set, it is time to move on to my little monthly tasks that I like to do at the end of each month or the start of each month. This is basically just a list of things that I feel like I could easily procrastinate doing or forget to do. So if I just do them now with you guys, I don't have to worry about them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my AirPods in. I was gonna say my AirPod Max, but I need to clean them very badly because I didn't clean them last month. Anyway, I'm gonna put these in, I'm gonna listen to some music, and similar to the apartment refresh, I'm gonna set myself a timer and just smash out this list. I think I'm gonna give myself an hour just because I feel like I realistically can't get all of this done in half an hour, let alone 20 minutes. So I'm setting my hour timer. Let's get through this list. Okay guys, it is time to update my tax document. I did not do this at the end of April, so I have 2 months worth of information to fill out in this document, which is a little bit overwhelming to think about, but we're gonna do it. Basically, if you don't know, I have this Excel spreadsheet where I keep track of every single amount that I earn from both social media and my freelance editing, and also amounts that I spend for my business, so business expenses. I also keep track of all my digital and physical receipts, and then I also have a section, can you tell I'm very type A, where I put together how much I earn for every single month. Just because my income does fluctuate, it's nice to be able to see a breakdown of how much I have earned every single month. And then I have another Excel spreadsheet, and this is where I keep track of all of mine and Kel's bills. I keep a copy of our receipts for those, and then I also have a tab at the bottom where I keep track of our budget. And I like to take a look at that budget at the end of every month alongside with my monthly earnings, just to make sure that they still both work together, because obviously my budget can't be higher than how much I'm earning, but also if my budget is really low, then I need to update maybe the savings amounts on those, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and do all of the digital parts that I can first. So recording my income, putting money into my tax account, recording the tax amounts, etc, etc. And then I'm going to take photos of my receipts. I think I have a couple from April that I need to take photos of. And then I'll update all of that information in there as well. It's a tedious task, but it does make end of financial year so much easier, and it also just keeps me on track financially, because especially with working for myself, it could be so easy for me to just not really know what's going on, not know how much I'm earning, not know how much I'm spending, and just not be financially responsible. Okay guys, the time has come probably for me to update this clock. I don't know if I've told you guys, I'm sure I have, but this clock is broken. It's not that the battery is flat, the clock itself is broken. Even if you put a new battery in, it just doesn't go, but we love the look of it so much. So it is constantly 3:35 p.m. in this household. And I mean, it is 3:35 twice a day, so technically it's right twice a day. So therefore, I'm not gonna do anything about it. Anyway, the time has come for me to update my calendar. Basically, I use my Apple Calendar for literally everything. I would be so lost without this thing, but I have 5 separate calendars in my iCloud account. I have Life, YouTube Socials, INEG, which is Cal's company, Gym, and Freelance. And the best thing I find about this is that you can untick calendars to turn them off and then click them to turn them on. So if I just want to know what I'm doing for the month in regards to gym, I can just have my gym calendar on and I can just see that, and I'm not overwhelmed by everything. When I first started using a digital calendar and I had everything just under one calendar, looking at it was so overwhelming, and I found it hard to find every single thing that I put on and differentiate stuff. So I highly recommend, if you have a digital calendar, to separate them into calendars. Just kind of like identify the key areas of your life and split it that way. So what I do at the start of each month is I go in and do basically like a dump of everything that I have on this month. I do put things in my calendar as they pop up. So I do have a lot of things already filled out for June, which is really helpful. So this won't take me long at all. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna bulk fill anything that I have on for this month into my calendar. Now that my calendar is updated, it is time to go and update my Notion. So this is my homepage on my Notion. It's called Basecamp. Like I said earlier, I will have a copy of this linked below if you're interested in this template. But basically, I have this section on the right called Weekly Schedule. And what I like to do at the start of each week is just fill out the main things that I have to do for each of those days in this schedule. That way, every time I open my Notion, which is so often, literally every single day, I can see the main things that I have to do on those days. And then above that, I have a section called To-Do List, and this is where I will expand on each day as each day comes. So on Monday, I'll have the main things that I need to do in the weekly schedule, usually like 2 to 3 things there, but then I'll have every single task that I need to do in depth in the to-do list. And I like to fill out my calendar first. That way I can reference that as I fill in the weekly schedule. Also, while I'm here, I'm gonna go and update my YouTube planner. This is where I plan out literally every single YouTube video that I film and post. To be honest, I didn't really use this in May because I wasn't filming and posting. So I definitely need to go in here and update this. As you can see, I have the rough video title, I have the status of it, whether it's just an idea, if it's being filmed, edited, etc. And then I have my film due dates and post dates. So I'm gonna go ahead and update all of my Notion now. Literally have you balancing on one of our couch cushions, so hopefully you don't fall over. Ironically, my big tripod is literally right behind me, but I'm too lazy to set that up. Anyway, it is time for me to share with you my monthly favorites. I was thinking maybe I could do my favorite things from the first half of the year, but I feel like there's too much, you know? One thing about me is I get so obsessed with stuff and I feel like I would be here for hours. Like I could literally do a 2015 my favorites themed YouTube video of all the things that I've just been loving this year. So I decided to just go with things that I was loving a lot in May. If you live in the US, you're gonna find this one very random, but guys, I have been obsessed with Aquaphor. I need to figure out if I can order this in Australia somehow, because this is the best lip product ever. I've still been loving my Emco Beauty peptide treatments, but this has literally replaced my Vaseline. I love it. I take this top everywhere. I literally put a little keychain on it. I am obsessed. I love her. I've literally nearly used this whole tube, I guess, little tube. Well, it's not even little, it's like pretty big. I take it with me everywhere, and I got this when I was in the US for Coachella, so I'm definitely gonna have to figure out a way to get more because I am obsessed. Something else I've been literally obsessed with as well is these mask air fresheners. I got these sent to me in PR. They sent me like 10 of them. It was insane. It was literally such a nice PR package, but these 2 flavors scents. These two scents I have been spraying like crazy. This one is the black raspberry and vanilla, and this one is the pink fairy floss. They are so good. I'll have them linked below for you guys. This is not sponsored, but I did get them in PR, and honestly, I'm going to repurchase these. This is something I also got sent in PR, and I am still in denial that I was sent this in PR, but this is the YSL Black Opium perfume. This smells phenomenal. I've literally nearly used the whole bottle. I love it so much. I fear I am gonna have to purchase this once it runs out, and it literally nearly is run out. I've only had this for a month and a half, but I've been spraying this like crazy. It is so good. If you've been on the fence about buying this, I definitely can vouch that it smells phenomenal, but I'm pretty sure it is quite pricey, so I'm very grateful to have gotten this, and yeah, I'm literally flying through it. I also got sent this in PR as well. It was a really good PR month for me in May. I don't know what happened. I don't know how I ended up on these lists, but I'm so grateful. I got sent this L'Oreal Revitalift Hyaluronic Acid Serum. Look, I don't know if this is actually good for your skin, but I feel like my skin has been really smooth since using this. It might just be the hyaluronic acid. I feel like that's good for bumps. I'm not too sure, but I've been using this every second night, and I've been really liking it. It does have a kind of strong fragrance scent though, which I don't love in products. Like, I would rather not have fragrance in my products unless it's a perfume or something, but I really have been liking this. I'm not gonna lie. I've still been loving my journal. This is the Spirax, is that how you pronounce it? Spirax Wellness Journal. I've shown this before, but guys, last month I stuck little gems all over it. I don't know, I feel like it's fun. I am about to finish this journal though, which is really sad, but I'm definitely gonna repurchase this. I feel like this was maybe $10 or $15. I got it from Big W. I will link it below if they still have it. I've also still been loving my Kindle. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been reading as much as I was at the start of the year. I kind of fell off my healthy habits a little bit after Coachella, but one thing I did do, guys, is I decorated the back of my Kindle. I had been meaning to do this for literally 3 years. Like, I think I got my Kindle for my 27th birthday, and I just had a clear case on it because I was like, I don't want to buy stickers and then stick them on, and then what if I want to change them? And Harriet gave me this genius idea that I could just put the stickers in there and then put a case on top, and then I wouldn't have to stick them on. I'm pretty sure that's what she did. So instead of buying stickers, I just got images from the internet and then got them printed on photo paper, blue tacked them to my Kindle, and then stuck the case on, and I'm very happy with this. I do need to re-stick on my little pop socket thing, but I feel like it's fun. It does kind of look like a 10-year-old's Kindle, but you know what? It makes me happy. This is so random, guys, but after going to Gracie Abrams, I have not been able to stop wearing this little bow when I have a ponytail. I feel like it's healing my inner child. There's just something about having the bow in with the ponytail that just makes me feel 10 again, but like in the best way possible, you know? I just got this off Amazon. I think it came in a pack of maybe 4 or 6, and it just has this clip on the back. So I just clip it into my hair tie rather than having to like actually tie a ribbon. And I love it. I feel like it's very cute. If they still have them on Amazon, I'll link them below for you guys. Guys, I honestly haven't even properly started using this, but I'm sharing it as a monthly favorite because I love it so much, even though I haven't properly started using it. I got this coloring book from Kmart. Look how freaking cute this is. Like, are you kidding me? I really want to get off my phone more. Like I was showing you in my end of month reflection, I have just had my screen time at an all-time high. So I bought this coloring book from Kmart. I want to say it was maybe like $10 and some pencils. So at night while I'm watching Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever, I can just do a little bit of coloring as well. I really need to actually start this. Now that I've shared it with you, I will start it because I feel like now that I've shared it, I have to like hold myself accountable. But yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is so freaking adorable. And I'm excited to have a fun little cozy hobby, especially because June is winter. Like we're going into winter now. So if I can find this, I will link it below for you guys. And then lastly, in terms of physical items, I have been loving our record player, especially these two vinyls. Guys, Cal and I went into this store, I think it was called Happy Valley on Smith Street in Fitzroy, and I saw both of these vinyls. Well, actually, I saw so many vinyls that were on my list, and I was like, I have to limit myself to 2. Like, I need to relax. And these two were the ones that I wanted wanted the most. They were also limited edition ones, like this Wallows one came with the yellow disc and this 1975 one came on a clear disc or like clear vinyl, and I love a colored or clear vinyl. It just makes it so much more fun. So yeah, I've been absolutely loving these two and just having a record playing in the morning. And then in terms of things that I've been loving that aren't physical items, I don't think I've shared this yet, but I joined a netball team and I have been absolutely loving it. My friend Rach has been a part of this team for years and she invited me to join. Cal actually ended up joining as well, and it has been so fun. I played netball while I was growing up, honestly until I was like 14, and then I stopped playing and hadn't played since. I feel like this is also healing my inner child or inner teenager, and it just feels really good to do, or I guess be a part of a team sport, especially since all of my job is by myself. I love being a part of a team and just doing something socially. That's a hobby, if that makes sense. So I've been loving playing netball. I definitely am so rusty. Like I said, I hadn't played since I was 14, so my first game I was like who, what, when, where, how, why, but it's been so fun. I've also still been going to Pilates. I think I started going to Pilates 4 times a week in my April reset, but I've still been keeping up with that. I actually just hit my 50th class maybe a week or 2 ago, which means I'll probably hit 100 classes this year, which is absolutely crazy considering 2 years ago I was scared of going to reformer Pilates. I think that's it. I could literally, like I said, sit here for probably 45 minutes and list off all the things that I've been loving at the moment, but those are the main things that I think stood out for the month of May. Okay guys, we have officially finished the June reset. I am feeling so much better. Is that a hair just like, has that hair been sticking up the whole time? I'm so proud of us for doing this. I'm not gonna lie. I have been procrastinating doing this, which is very weird because I love all things productivity. I love getting my life together. I love doing a reset, but I was having this block. But now that I've sat down and I've reflected and I've set myself up for the month, I'm really excited for the month. I think it's gonna be good. I'm very excited to be in my wholesome girl era this month. I feel like May was very 365 party girl, and look, I loved it. It was fun, but I'm ready for June to just be a month full of wholesome healing. I do have my best friend's birthday party at the end of the month, but we'll deal with that when it comes to it. Anyway, if you guys have watched this far, comment down below the matcha emoji. Yeah, comment down below the matcha emoji because I'm very excited for my matcha to arrive in the mail. I have missed making my matchas at home so much, so comment down that emoji. Also, if you've watched this far and you haven't subscribed, you should definitely subscribe because we're basically best friends at this point. I love you guys so much and I will see you in my next video. Bye!